Hi everyone, I'm Ali. Ancient Chinese ladies are not only beautiful but also talented. You might have heard about the list of the most beautiful women in history, but do you know who are the most talented women in Chinese history? I am going to talk about the 4 most influential female scholars, but before that, I want to clear up a commonly mistranslated Chinese phrase for everyone. This phrase, 女子无才便是德, was mistranslated as women without literary or artistic talent is virtuous, and therefore it was frequently used in modern-day China as evidence of how ancient feudal society is against women from getting education. The truth is actually the opposite. The complete sentence is 男子有德便是才, 女子无才便是德, and it means men's talent lies in his virtue, women's virtue lies in her not showing off her talent. It promotes humility, one of the most cherished qualities in ancient China. It also implies a fundamental principle, which is the relationship between men and women. According to Taoism, men are yang and women are yin. The two properties together can create a harmonious life. It doesn't work if both are trying to be yin or both wanting to be yang. This could create conflicts or a chaotic household. So it makes sense for women to draw back a little and not to compete with the husband. Ultimately, it's not about who wins in a marriage, but how to balance and support each other. That's a true wisdom from ancient China that still applies today. So now that we're clear, let's get into the list of female scholars. Li Qingzhao was a Chinese writer and poet in the Song dynasty. She is considered as one of the greatest female poets in Chinese history. She was born to a family of scholar officials. The family had a large collection of books, and Li was able to receive comprehensive education in her childhood. Before she got married, her poetry was already well known within elite circles. In 1101, she married Zhao Mingcheng, with whom she shared interest in collecting inscriptions and calligraphy, and lived happily together. But in 1127, the northern Song capital of Kaifeng fell during Jin-Song Wars. Their house was burned and the couple fled to Nanjing, where they lived for a year, and Zhao died the next year. The death of her husband was a cruel stroke from which Li never recovered, but she kept working on completing her husband's unfinished work, Jin Shi Lu, and published it. Only around 100 of her poems are known to survive, but there are so many famous lines that most educated Chinese people know them by heart. Cai Yan, courtesy name Wen Ji, was a poet and musician who lived during the late Eastern Han Dynasty of China. Her life was turbulent to say the least. She was married to Wei Zhongdao in year 192, but her husband died shortly after their marriage. Then China entered a period of chaos. The Xiongnu nomads intruded into Han territory, captured Cai, and took her back as a prisoner to the northern lands. During her captivity, she was forced to marry Xiongnu chieftain and had 2 sons. 12 years later, the Han chancellor Cao Cao paid a heavy ransom in the name of Cai's father for her release. After Cai was freed, she returned to her homeland but left her children behind. Her return to Han territory has been the subject of numerous paintings, novels, and plays. She wrote a famous Guqin piece and 2 poems, both titled Poem of Sorrow and Anger, which paralleled her hard life. Zhuo Wenjun was a Chinese poet of the Western Han Dynasty. Born into a wealthy family, Zhuo was well educated and especially good at poetry and music. She was married at 16, but returned to her parents' home a few years later after her husband died. One day, a poor poet, Sima Xiangru, visited her house, then won her heart by playing Guqin to her. She later on ran away to be together with Sima. But no matter how passionate their love was at first, Sima gradually drifted apart from Zhuo and planned on getting a concubine. Upon hearing the news, Zhuo wrote a few poems and won her husband's love back with her sincere poetry. Ban Zhao, courtesy name Hui Ban, was a Chinese historian, philosopher, and politician of the Eastern Han Dynasty. In my humble opinion, she is the most influential female scholar in Chinese history. At age 14, Ban Zhao married a local resident named Cao Shishu. Her husband died when she was still young. She never remarried, instead devoted her life to scholarship. Ban Zhao was the first known female Chinese historian. She contributed greatly to the completion and transmission of the Book of Han after the death of her father and older brother. and this makes her the only female to have been involved in the writing of the orthodox histories of China. She also wrote Lessons for Women, which became one of the 4 books for women and influenced and shaped women's conduct and thinking for the next 2,000 years. Emperor He of Han invited her into the palace many times to teach Empress Deng and members of the court in the royal library, and the empress even made her a lady-in-waiting. When Ban Zhao died, Empress Deng mourned her death. It meant a great deal when a member of the royal family mourned a commoner's passing. Ban Zhao earned her respect and left a great legacy behind. These ladies endured a lot of hardships and yet achieved so much in life. Chinese women had great wisdom indeed, the opposite of what people might think. Interesting enough, in the book Lessons for Women, Ban Zhao actually advocated for women's education. Ancient Chinese cherished her philosophy and influenced all the great female scholars who came after her in one way or another. If you find this video helpful, please like and share, and let me know what you would like to learn in the comments below. I'll be making more videos on traditional Chinese culture, beauty, and fashion. See you next time.